All right, traders, good evening. It's BA here with the nightly edition of the daily TNB report for December 21st, 2017. Let's get right to all the action for today. All right, we'll start off with our normal review of the markets, a recap. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. We'll look at these are the futures. This is today's activity. This is tonight's so far. So we've got a little bid in the market going right now. Not a surprise, guys. We should have that drift higher into Christmas, and then should be bullish next week. That's typically what happens. Market can do anything, but that's statistically what should take place. All right, so S&P looks strong. Let's go to the Nasdaq. Nasdaq kind of had a flat day today, indecision day. But you can see it's got a little bid tonight, just like everything else. I've got the 15-minute charts underneath the daily charts, guys, as we flip through these things. So you can see here, this low right here is this low. So far, the low is intact. Rallied up, come down. You know, we took it out right there. Bullish move, just like always. Typically, they run it back down just to test the conviction of the guys that bought, you know, during all of this right here. So far, this low higher than this one higher than this one higher than this one, and this one higher than this one. So, you know, as you walk the dog back, you can see the little daily charts forming right there. So Nasdaq looks intact. Dow Jones futures, pretty much the same thing. They all look similar today, guys. Let's scroll down here and find the Russell right quick. Small caps had a little bit larger day today. A little bit more of a range in the small caps, and you can see here they look like they want to bust a move and go definitely to new highs. So once again, you can see the low back here. That's this low, and again, you just trail the probes lower. This low back here it was made on at 1630 on the 19th is intact. So several attacks to try to penetrate it have been repelled, and the markets just appear to want to do what they always do in December, which is go a little bit higher. All right, let's take a look at the bond market, see how the bonds fared today. They have been just getting taken out behind the woodshed and shot. 3 huge days down. Now we've got an up move. The low could not be taken out. A little bit of rally up. No telling what the bond market will do right from here, guys. It's no man's land for me. Just watching it until we get to some other key levels. So 30-year bond prices. These are prices. So when the 30-year bonds go down, or 10-year notes, here are the 10-year notes. When they go down, interest rates go up. So interest rates go up as the bond prices go down. Let's take a look at crude. Man, crude is just continuing with these small range days. One truism in the market that has been true from the turn of time is small range days beget large range days. Large range days beget small range days. So all that says is that, hey, these small range days are not going to last. We are going to get a breakout in crude one way or the other. It's going to be a very large range day. It would really be nice to be trading intraday when that happens. So a market like this is a good market to put our little 5-minute breakout indicator on. So you can see here at 9:30 today in crude, as small a range as that is, it really captured the trend in crude today. So this is a really good indicator to run on markets that have very narrow ranges and you're expecting a breakout. All right, let's take a look at gold right quick. Gold market again is grinding higher, slowly higher, smaller range days as we get closer to this top. To me, it looks like it wants to crater down for a little small pullback. So but I'm not willing to make a bet right here. I'm more interested to see what happens when gold sells off and whether or not it rallies back again. That's what I'm really looking for in the gold market. Let's see, what have we not looked at here that we need to? Nothing. No, I think that's it for the overall market. The markets that rule the earth type things. I didn't look at any of the currencies, but not going to really take a look at those today. All right, so let's see what else we have here. All right, so when you get to the bottom of the email, we'll have this attachment here posted for you. So here is our penny and low price stock watch list. I just want to call out a couple of things. BMXI, penny stock, is a new addition. Hey, watch this one tomorrow at the open. I've got a buy stop in there at 0265. If it hits 0265, you know, be prepared to go with it. There's some chatter out about this stock here, so this might be a one to definitely take a position in, maybe get a good pull for tomorrow. Hey, listen, on these penny stocks, especially like this one for tomorrow, if you get into this stock and it runs up, 100%, be prepared to take some profits. Don't be too greedy on those. If you get to 100%, go ahead and take half your position off, and then let the other half ride. Lock the remainder of your position in at a break even, and just see how you do for the day. It's just one technique, but that could be BMXI could be a burner tomorrow. Hey, I changed alerts for BPTH, so that's the new alert level right there to get in and buy the stock. I want you to we got to pay attention to CTHR, guys. That thing's just continuing to wind up for a potential move. I think it's going to be bullish. We'll see. Mara, we are just pay attention. I put over here buy the stock or the options. I'll leave it up to you. I had to conduct an analysis myself just to make sure that it was going to be better for me to buy the options. Let's pull this up right quick, and I will cue this up just to show you what I'm talking about. Let me put Mara in. Let me pull up the Analyze tab. All right, guys, anytime you want to see the difference in whether it's more beneficial, more capital efficient to buy options over stocks, use your Analyze tab, whatever platform you're using, and just compare the purchase of stocks with options. So first thing, you want to make sure you're trading options that are liquid with a fairly tight bid-ask spread. Mara's on the edge, but we can overcome it. It's such a volatile stock. So if I come in for myself and I'm just going to compare 10 option contracts. So that's like controlling 1,000 shares of stock. Oh yeah, let me bump this up to 1,000. All right, so if we've got 10 call options selected here, I'm buying the 250 calls, which is like the 80 or 90 delta stocks. So we'll take a look and compare. If we go to $9, we have a $4,000 profit. We're up $4,000. It's going to cost us roughly $2,200 to get in. All right, so $2,200 for a $4,000 profit at $9. Now let's compare the stock. Same 1,000 shares, same as buying 10 option contracts. So the downside is that there is unlimited risk to the downside. You have to take yourself out in case it goes against you. Okay, that's one negative. Now let's take a look at the run up to $9. You can see that it's the same, essentially the same profit level. So 1,000 shares of stock, 10 option contracts. Okay, so you're saying, whoop-de-doo, big deal. What's the difference? Well, those 10 option contracts are going to cost me $2,200. In a regular account, 1,000 shares of Mara is going to cost you roughly $5,000. In a margin account, $2,500. So this one's really a toss-up. It's really a toss-up for Mara. If you're operating in a portfolio margin account, you get it even cheaper. So it's probably better off to buy the stock if you're in a portfolio margin account. So, but for all the other regular accounts, margin accounts, the options versus the stock is really a toss-up. The biggest advantage is that in a complete and utter annihilation, the option trade protects your capital at a certain extent. So anyway, I will leave that decision up to you. I just wanted to provide you with an analysis, a capital efficiency analysis for the potential trade into Mara. I will probably lean toward the options myself. All right, so let's go back here to this, and let's see, current portfolio. Had a couple of ads today. Guys, I forgot to add IWM yesterday. We were down in that trade yesterday when we put it on, but today the trade gathered some steam, went up. Of course, you saw IWM is the ETF for the Russell Small Cap Stock Index. So when I showed you the Russell futures today, you saw the big range bar up. Well, that's why our IWM position did so well today. So we're still holding it. We got options on that. We bought the 150 calls on IWM. Hey, I'd like to apologize once again on the emails. I was emailing you guys like crazy, updating you on everything we've been doing over the last 2 days, every step of the way. And then I find out the emails aren't going out, aren't getting to you. So I've made the corrections. I've checked myself, make sure I'm straight. Now they should be getting out to you. All right, so we added Apple today. We bought the 170 calls in Apple. Took a little turn. We're only down a few shekels in that thing going into the close. We bought CLD today, bought the stock, and we bought MNGA, a penny stock. Those are all some of the new trades that we put on today. Let's see here, guys. Let me hold on just a second. I'm listening. Yes! Outstanding. Ups. We run the register too many times. We only really had one ka-ching today. We took SGYP off, a biotech stock. Took it off for about a 17.5% gain. 21 days into the trade, so that one worked out nicely for us. All right, let's move on to see what we have next here. What we need to pull up is the, let me find it. Yeah, there we go. All right, guys, a couple of things. I've already scanned through all the news stuff. Some interesting stuff today. First thing we're going to cover is unusual option activity. I'll grab my pen out here so I can make some notes. But it looks like we have some unusual option activity in First Data Corporation, FDC. I've taken a look at that stock, and there's unusual option activity in XLE. FDC, I'm definitely interested in. So John Najarian, him and his brother, famous option traders, saw unusually high option activity in FDC. He noticed that option traders were aggressively buying the January upside calls in FDC. He said they added that somewhere around 13,000 contracts were traded, so Najarian decided to follow the trade. Hey, we're going to look at that one. I will probably, I will more than likely put a trade or an alert out for us to get into FDC. You know, our last trade that Najarian called out for us, unusual option activity, AEO. That one has not had a downtick since we've been in it. We are looking maybe to take profits tomorrow, maybe hold it over the weekend. I don't know. That thing's just ripping for us. So it's a good trade so far. So stand by for some guidance on FDC. Let's roll down here and see what else we have. Yeah, it's pretty interesting right here. Someone, it says, made a $1 million options bet to buy 275 Bitcoins for $50,000 each. The expiration is in December of 2018, so next year. So they have a leap option betting that Bitcoins are going to get to 50,000. So he paid, looks like he paid about $3,600 per coin for that out of the money call option in Bitcoin. So interesting bet. Let me pull up the other news wire that's tied to that there. Let me see, where did it go? Let me pull it up here, guys. Give me just a second. All right, here we go. All right, someone paid $1 million premium for the option to buy 275 Bitcoins for $50,000 each. Expires in December 28th, 2018. We talked about that. So here's the interesting part. So if those options get to that price, he makes a profit once they get to $53,600. For every $3,600 in price movement above that level, above 53.6, he makes another $1 million. So every time it goes $3,600 above 53.6, he banks another $1 million. You might be saying, well, I mean, who would toss $1 million out there? Hey guys, in the land of milk and honey that's out there, where there's just so much money, you can there are places where there's so much money that in individuals and institutions' hands that $1 million is not really a lot. So, you know, it'd be like me making a $50 option bet on Bitcoin if I could find something like that. So anyway, it's an interesting bet. Somebody thinks that it's possible for Bitcoins to rise to get past 53,600 bucks. So we shall see. Geez, let me pull my. Where did my? There we go. Okay. All right. So FDC, and then one interesting note about options. Okay, let's go over here to check out some insider activity. WOW, wow, shares up roughly 10% following a flurry of insider buys Wednesday after hours. So it looks like the CEO and a few other folks were in there after hours buying a lot of shares, roughly 77,000 shares worth. Yeah, so we'll put that one up, and I've got WOW down too to take a look at and see if we have a trade. So right now we have FDC for unusual options, and we have WOW down for insider activity. Let's check rumors. Yeah, there was a lot of rumors today, guys. That pretty interesting stuff. Let me see if I can find them. Okay, number one, looks like Goldman Sachs could be building a cryptocurrency trading desk. So for those of you that don't know much about Goldman Sachs, they whenever they set up a trading desk, they'll set up two sides. They'll set up one side to bring customers in to buy all the cryptocurrencies. They'll set up another desk in another segment of their building to bring in customers to sell all of the coins that the other customers are buying. So Goldman Sachs plays everybody against everybody to try to get on both sides. That's just the way Goldman Sachs operates. So anyway, let's see. Hey Clint, here's the Clint was telling me about the BA and Embraer shares, or the potential merger of those two. So anyway, there's a lot of chatter about Boeing and Embraer today. According to Clint, who knows a lot about that stuff, could be a very big deal. Confirms all that with some of the news articles I read here concerning that either takeover or merger or whatever they're talking about. Let's see what else is interesting in the rumor realm tonight. Guys, there's anything that's mentioned that it potentially could be tagged to blockchain just goes through the roof. So this, who knows, maybe this is the next mania in the market, like the .com bubble was. Maybe it's the mention of blockchain. So maybe that's maybe these things just go through the roof next year, and kind of like the .com stocks did back in 2000, where only a handful survived, created the backbone, while everybody else crashed and burned. Excuse me. All right, we shall see. Let's go down here and see what else we have. That looks like that's about it for E-Trade. Chatter that they may be looking into Coinbase. So this is interesting because there aren't any trading desks. Coinbase, there's Coinigy that allows retail traders and investors access into the cryptocurrencies. So this is really interesting. ETFC is E-Trade. We're going to take a look at that. There's got to be a more efficient way for people to get into cryptocurrencies. If this gets larger, these brokerage firms, these self-directed brokerage firms like ETFC, maybe eventually TD Ameritrade, Schwab, and places like that, Fidelity, set up a place where people can buy these cryptocurrencies. I know if I was a brokerage firm and had something hot like this that's attracting all this capital, I would try to figure out a way to bring all of those traders and investors in cryptocurrency folks underneath my umbrella if at all possible. So hey, that's an interesting angle. So it looks like it's starting to migrate over. I'm going to take a look at ETFC, see if we have anything for us there. All right, guys, I think that does it for the news. Let's see. Yep, I didn't see anything else in any of the market updates there. Bitcoin taking a bath. It's under $15,000 a Bitcoin now, so almost touched 20,000 Sunday night. Under 15,000. So it's just the way that thing swings, guys. Anyway, I believe that does it for tonight. Yep, that's it for tonight, guys. Hey, appreciate you guys watching, and just tomorrow should be a very light day in the market. I expect a drift higher. We don't expect explosive stock market index moves. We do expect some potentially explosive individual stock moves, maybe penny stock moves. So I think we're well positioned. Appreciate your guys' support, and I will send out any updates I get. I'm looking at several things taking place on a couple of different screens here, guys. So anyway, have a good evening, and I will send you guys any updates I get as I wind down the night here. This is BA signing out.